All right, let's take a look at the mounting clip. Again, this looks like a part that would be a sheet metal part, but we're not gonna. That's a whole different ball game. So we're not gonna deal with that right now. We're just gonna build it as is, and I'm gonna start with the bottom face. And let's see what we got here. English units. So let me close this out. And new. Okay. Options. Drawing document properties. Units. IPS. Inches, pounds, and so forth. And turn on my grid. Okay, so I'm going to start with that bottom surface. And let's go to sketch. I'm going to go with the top plane here. And I'm going to draw this shape right here from this point right here. And that'll be the inside edge actually, because this comes out well. Okay, let me just draw this shape here. One, and I'll delve in from there. So, because that's half-inch radius. Yeah. All right. It's kind of tough to see what exactly is going on here, where this this line goes, but I'm thinking it goes to this inside corner, because otherwise it'll be out more. It just makes sense to me. So let's go with that. 1 inch by 1.5 inch. So we'll put some dimensions on here. 1 by 1.5. And then we have a radius here of 0.5, so let's pop that in there. 0.5 radius. What's this corner right here? And then we have inside the center here, we have this cut. Let's go. That's a radius at 0.21. That's ½ inch in. Let me go ahead and put a circle in here. That's 1 inch deep, so it's not going to be all the way, or is it? Well, if that's inch and a half, that's a half. That's an inch and a half, and this is 1 inch deep. Yeah, it is. It's a ½ inch in from there. So actually, that is going to be symmetric, is it not? Yes, it will. Let me just double check, just make sure my head math. As I said, my math skills are horrible. 1 inch. Okay. And cancel that, and ½ inch. Right, perfect. Okay, so that's got a radius of 0.21, so that's going to be a diameter of 40.42, right? Okay, so let's put that in at least. Diameter of 0.42. 0.42. And then I'm just going to bring lines out from that point. Perpendicular right there. Perpendicular and tangent. We got them. Perpendicular, tangent. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to make that perpendicular. And I like how that little yellow relations pop up saying that's going to be perpendicular and tangent. And we got them. I nailed them. So you got the perpendicular, or the tangent there, with the perpendicular there, tangent there, perpendicular there. Do some trimming. Trim that out. We got them. Okay. Now let's give it thickness. Now here's the thing. This is a typo. It says 0.6. There's no way. As we found in class, when I talked about this one, if I do an extrusion and I put in 0.6, it would look like that, and that's not what it is. And I'm going to come down. I want to use that as a surface for whatever reason. I'm going to flip the direction and make that 0.06. That just makes much more sense. You can see. And I went the direction down so that my top plane would be level with this top surface. I don't know if that's going to help me later. It might. I have a feeling if I need that for whatever reason, it might work out. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, tell you. All right, let's get this top part. And I think I can just draw right on that plane where I started that drawing. Let me take a look. Let's take a look here. Let's hit Control 7. Let's see. Let me look at this plane. Front plane. Yeah, I do believe that front plane is right there, isn't it not? Yes, it is. So I'm going to put my sketch plane on the front plane. So I'm drawing, looking at it like that. And this is 1.12 to the top from that inside corner. But I'm going to start my rectangle down on the bottom. Okay. It's too late. I wasn't fast enough with my control. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure I dimension from this top surface. Okay, so I'm going to put that 1.12 in from here to here. 1.12. And then this comes up. This is equal with this right here, right? So I'm just going to make this line here. Get out of that command. This line and this edge collinear. Then I'm going to give this a radius of 0.62, which is different from this 0.5 radius, which is odd, but let's throw that in there, 0.62. Let's get that. Our fillet, 0.62. And we're going to fillet this right here, right there. Okay, now this circle is not centered here because that's a 0.62 radius. So I'm just going to draw that in there. And also this isn't 1 inch, it's 1.12. So I'm going to draw this in here. And I'm just going to draw a circle in there. Get out of that fillet command. I'm just going to put it right there, wherever. And then I'm going to put dimensions in. So I want to come up a 1/2 inch from this corner, in the inside corner. So that 1/2 inch comes up from the inside corner, not the bottom. And that inside edge to here is 0.5. And then 1 inch from this edge. Right? Because it's, I know it's 1 inch because it's lined up with this center line. The center line should go ahead and touch, but it's the only reference I have, and I'm going to assume that's correct. Not a great drawing. 1 inch, or it's not dimensioned all that great. Does that look right? No, it does not. It looks bad. Well, that looks. Oh wait, let me change my diameter. 0.62. Okay, let me put my diameter at 0.62. Maybe that'll change things. Well, 0.62 really doesn't change anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a diameter 0.62. What am I missing here? 1 inch from that inside edge. I mean, that's the only information I got. That's what I'm going with. It just doesn't look right. 1.5. Does that bottom one look right? Let's look at it this way. That just does not look right. What am I missing there? I got something weird going on. No, I'm good. I'm good. It just doesn't look right to me. What are we missing here? 1/2 inch up. Maybe it's 0.62 in. Maybe this 1 inch just isn't what we want. Let's go back to this view here. Do I have a look at command? I'm sure I do. I don't know where it's at though. Well, I'll explain it when I figure it out. Let's go back here. Let's get rid of this 1 inch command, delete that. I forget what I did with the inventor one. So I haven't. Let's bring this in 0.62. Let's see what that looks like. God, what an incomplete drawing. We'll go 0.62. That looks better. That looks a lot better. I'm going with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Okay. 0.5. Back 0.62. That's got to be what it is. Look at it. Okay. Be that as it may, let's finish this out because that's really all I need, right? And then, so let's exit the sketch. I'm going to Control 7. So I can see what's going on here. And I'm going to extrude that out the 0.06. And I want to flip the direction, because everything came from that inside corner and it's going out the other way. So I'm going to flip that direction. So it's like so. Okay. And, okay. So how does that look? But that 0.62 diameter does not look right. But it looks too big to me. It's bigger than 0.5 though, or 0.21 I should say. But I'm just going to go with it because that's what it said. Alright, so I'm going to have to change this drawing one of these days. We got this 32-degree here angle. I'm going to put a plane on it. A plane. And or a reference geometry. I'm going to reference geometry plane. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to pick my first reference as, let's go. See, that's 32 degrees against that. Let's have a reference be this line and this edge. And we're given 90 degrees here. Let me pick that angle. I'm going to change that. If that's 90 and I want to have it 32 there. So that's going to be 180 plus 32, which is what, 212? Yeah. So I'm going to type in 212. And now I get my 32 degrees. And now I have a plane that I can use to draw on. So I'm going to put a sketch plane on that. I don't like the way that looks. Okay. Let's look at this sketch plane here. Okay, this is going to be weird drawing this. So I want to draw it as I see it as much as possible. And it should be a look at. Select the other instruction. I don't know where that's at. Selection tools. View. When I talk about a look at tool, there should be a command that if you click on something, then it's going to go to that plane from that origin. But I'm just going to have to do this. Just kind of eyeball out as much as I can. That looks right. Good enough. Alright. Let's put a rectangle on here. I'm not going to go with the slot. I've done the slot before. I think I'm just going to go with the rectangle. And from that corner right there. Just bring it out. Okay. Then I'm going to make this edge collinear with this edge right here. Okay, so I'm going to pick this line. Control and pick that inside corner. make them collinear. So that's the same. Then I'm going 2.43 all the way out. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to do this 1.25 plus this 0.62, which is head math. 1.87. Right, 1.87. Yeah. 1.87. 1.87. Okay, let me kind of that like so. Okay. And then we're going to put 0.56 radius on here, right? Because that's 1.12, 6, 12, yeah. 0.56 radius. We're putting an arc on here. So let's do that. Go arc. I'm going to find my midpoint right there. I'll come from this point here. I'm going the wrong way here. Let's see if I can reverse that direction. There we go. What I did is I hit control and I flipped it around. See now, there we go. To that point there. Okay, and then make sure these are tangent. That. Tangent. Click this. And this. We can assume it's tangent, but sometimes you never know. You do something weird. Let me trim this out. Yes. Okay. And let me double check that radius. I just want to double check it. 0.56, we're good. Okay. So then we got the slot on the inside. We can do that. So let's do the slot right here. I'm going to do a center, a straight slot, center point slot. Line that up with that. It's in here somewhere. Like so. Okay. We're 0.62 from this corner, which is right there. All right. I don't like drawing like this. I wish I could get that plane nail. 0.62 from that corner to there. 0.62. And the slot itself is 1.125. So just grab that center line, 1.125. Okay, and the radius is 0.28. 0.28. And then we got a 0.12 cut down here. So I'm going to put a rectangle in here. I'm going to do a center rectangle. Because that way I can line it up with this right here. I know it'll be centered. Like so. All I need here is the thickness. 0.12. Up. Come on, let's do that again. Dimension from here to here. There we go. 0.12. And just to make sure that that's centered, let me grab this center point. Hit control and grab, say, this center point, this point, and hit horizontal. Not coincident, I just want them horizontal. Okay, well, let's say okay, and then pull that out. That's good. That's all I need. And I'm going to trim this stuff out. Trim that out, trim that out, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, yes, get rid of that and that. That's the only problem with this rectangle command is you got all these other little things that whenever you're trimming something it gets involved. Oh, we gotta get rid of that, get rid of that, and that. So there's, what am I missing here? Why don't I have a complete edge? A little one right here. Maybe I shouldn't have went with the rectangle command. There's a little one right here. There it is. There, we got it. And then we can get this thickness for this 0.06. So let me get out of the sketch and extrude that. It's already in there, 0.06. It's going in the right direction, and I'll say OK. All right. I want to get rid of this plane. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to see this eyeball right here. I'm just going to hide it. Okay. Last thing I want to do is I'm going to put a little radius on the back here. Just a little radius right here. Because that's supposed to be bent. So is there anything in there about a radius? I don't see anything about a radius. So I'll put a little teeny 0.06, 0.03 radius on it. Let's try that. Oh, fillet 0.03 right here. I want a symmetric 0.03 like that. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's it. How's that look? Close enough? Yeah. I still think that this hole is too large. I'm thinking, well, it's bigger than that. It should be a 1/2 inch. I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. But it is what it is. That's what we're given. We dealt with one typo enough. And I'll find that look at command. I mean, I don't know if they call it look at in SolidWorks. And Inventor, I think it's called look at. There's a command where you pick on a surface and it will go right to it in a straight plane view. Maybe it's under view. Hide show toolbars. Full screen. Hide show toolbars. I don't see it. Sketch. Evaluate. I'll dig it up. Hold on, let me do this. I'm going to pause this. I should have done this earlier. I'm going to Google. Okay, it is called normal to, not look at. Okay, so if I right click here, it's right here, normal to. Boy, that would have helped. Anyway, be that as it may. Remember that. So you got something really whopper jawed and then say, okay, I want to look at that normal to. That's a normal being perpendicular, basically. All right. Tech tip, too late. Be that as it may. There it is.